I walked over to Rain's body and started searching through it, only found a cracked jade pendant. Then I noticed the ring on Rain's finger and pulled it off, sent my spirit energy into it and found a small spatial pocket inside, packed with all kinds of armor, ore, gold coins, silver coins, and magic scrolls. So this is a storage artifact, crafted by a spatial mage, a pocket dimension container. This Rain guy was no ordinary person. The loot inside was solid, but now's not the time to sort through it. Suddenly, a furious dragon roar echoed across the entire toxic fog swamp. Some animals were literally scared to death by the sheer dragon pressure. Dragon Mom was enraged. I quickly tucked the artifact into my mouth and waited right there. A massive black shadow descended from the sky. Dragon Mom's enormous figure appeared before me. The pressure was overwhelming. Xing was taken by a group of mercenaries. I fought as hard as I could, killed 2 of them, still couldn't stop them. Looking all worn out. Idiot. Dragon Mom in a rage. One tail swipe sent me flying. She didn't even stop to wonder how I managed to kill a level 5 warrior and a level 4 mage. Dragon Mom spoke a dragon language spell, cast a tracking skill, and flew off in a direction. After Dragon Mom left, I got back up. She was just venting. She didn't actually go all out. Brock and his brother were still running for their lives with Xing in tow. Brock, was it really okay to just ditch the boss like that? The boss and the others clearly weren't a match for it. If they can buy us some time, that's good enough. We'll be grateful to them for the rest of our lives. Brock's eyes were ice cold. So what? But didn't the boss say we're all brothers? If they can die so we can have a future, then that's exactly what they were here for. Grant City is right up ahead. Once we're inside the city walls, even an adult black dragon can't touch us, Brock said, eyes fixed on the distant walls. The 2 of them bolted out of the forest and sprinted straight for the walls right in front of them. They could see a bunch of other mercenaries heading into the city. Their hearts finally relaxed a little. But then a dragon's roar split the air, and both of their minds went completely blank. The overwhelming dragon pressure had them completely frozen. By the time they snapped back to reality, it was already too late. A massive pair of wings seemed to blot out the entire sky. Carson looked up at the adult black dragon and just checked out completely. But Brock reacted fast. He yanked Xing out of the net bag, then dropped to his knees and said, trembling, "Great mother of black dragons! We meant no disrespect. Please calm yourself." Dragon Mom didn't even reach for Xing. She just swallowed Brock whole. Carson tried to grab Xing to use as leverage against Dragon Mom, but Dragon Mom was so fast that Carson didn't even get to scream. He was gone in an instant. She didn't even glance at Xing standing there dazed at her feet. Instead, she turned her gaze toward the distant city walls. The soldiers on Grant City's walls were already in full panic mode. Move, move, move! Magic crystal cannons, get ready! Where are the archers? Giant crossbows, lock and load now. Where are the mages? Somebody find the mages! Dragon Mom watched all of this with pure contempt. Pathetic, fragile humans. They have no idea what a true dragon is capable of. Dragon Mom rose into the air, staring down at her territory like a queen surveying her kingdom. Looking down at Grant City,
城墙上的指挥官见此，急忙下令。
the commander on the walls gave the order. A hail of arrows mixed with several enchanted giant crossbow bolts launched toward Dragon Mom in the sky. Dragon Mom gave her wings one hard beat. A massive shockwave erupted. Every single arrow got blown out of the sky. Only a few crossbow bolts made it through. Dragon Mom casually snapped those crossbow bolts too. Then she flew directly over the city. She looked down at the ground below and smiled. A cruel smile. A cone of acid sprayed out of Dragon Mom's mouth and rapidly spread outward. Half of Grant City was hit like an acid rainstorm had just fallen from the sky. Screams and chaos everywhere instantly. Then a flash of white light cut through the air. A middle-aged man in white robes, staff in hand, flew up to just a short distance from Dragon Mom. It was the Lord of Grant City himself, Victor, a level 8 light mage. His expression was anything but calm. "We have a ceasefire agreement. What is this dragon's problem? Great Black Dragon Queen, have you really forgotten the agreement between us? You humans say one thing to our faces and do another behind our backs. The Kingdom of Northern actually dared to send people to steal my child." Dragon Mom roared in fury. "Great Black Dragon Queen, where is this coming from? Then what is this?" Dragon Mom pointed down at Xing, who was standing there looking completely clueless. Looking at the clearly professional mercenary-style binding still on Xing, Victor's expression turned dark. "What idiot did this? You pulled this off and you couldn't even keep it quiet? Black Dragon Queen, this must be some kind of misunderstanding." Victor quickly composed himself. "Human, are you trying to insult a true dragon? Black Dragon Queen, what price do you need us to pay before you'll leave? Foolish humans, who exactly do you think you're dealing with?" Dragon Mom said coldly. Victor's head was already pounding. "Looks like this one's gonna cost a whole lot." Watching from a distance, I could already tell Dragon Mom was holding something back. This whole thing was just an excuse to cash in. I quietly slipped away. Whatever happens next, that's not my problem. Instead of heading back to the dragon's lair, I made my way to a valley not far from it. This was the spot Xing had mentioned before, where he wanted to build a nest together with me. I wasn't sure how many magical beasts were in the area, but honestly I really liked this place. Water, trees, the smell of earth all around. And earth element energy was insanely dense here. I opened up the storage artifact from that earth mage and started going through everything inside. Gold coins, rough count, looked like over 300. A few dozen silver coins, some gemstones, but the real treasure was a bunch of magic scrolls and several earth-type spellbooks, written in the continental common language. For a black dragon, that was nothing. Easy read. Earth-type basic, earth shield. Earth-type legendary, spirit binding, swamp trap. Earth pulse scan. Earth-type advanced earthquake, earth's embrace slow. Okay. This mage was loaded. I'm starting to think I could become a full-on earth dragon. With the earth element affinity, picking these spells up shouldn't be that hard. Starting with Earth Shield first. Following the spellbook's instructions, I started building the spell model in my mind. As I focused, the spell model came together fast. Boom, boom, boom! 30-something massive cone-shaped earth spikes burst up from the ground. Absolutely terrifying. But honestly, I wasn't that impressed with this spell. Main issue, the cast speed is way too slow. Against anything with decent reaction speed, this thing is basically useless. To avoid more casualties, the Lord of Grant City had no choice but to meet Dragon Mom's ridiculous demands. Basically emptied the entire treasury, handed it all over to Dragon Mom. This can't keep happening. This dragon's appetite just keeps growing. She has to be dealt with. A cold resolve settled in Victor's eyes. He quickly wrote a letter and slipped it into a gold envelope. Someone get in here. My lord, what do you need? A guard stepped in. Take this letter to the capital of Northen. Deliver it directly to the king, Victor said. As you command. Back in the toxic fog swamp dragon's lair, Dragon Mom stared at the pile of treasure in front of her, eyes full of pure joy. To be fair, the black dragon Solanus had only just come of age. She was only 101 years old. In human years, that's basically a 17 or 18-year-old girl. At that age, which of the chromatic dragons had this much treasure? At that thought, Dragon Mom rolled around contentedly on her pile of treasure, like literally rolled on it. Outside the cave, Qingxuang was still shaking, huddled next to Ziluo. This whole thing had been a massive shock to him. He'd almost gotten kidnapped by humans. Qingxuang, you're so reckless. If I hadn't risked my life to wake up our sleeping mother, the humans would have already skinned you and picked you apart. Ziluo, thank you. The outside world is terrifying. I'm staying right here until I grow up. Qingxuang still looked shaken up. Exactly. You better stop going out with Big Bro. Ziluo's eyes shifted around a bit. Big Bro actually treats me really well. He even gave me a ton of hunting bear meat. It was so good. Magical beast meat is so good. Qingxuang licked his lips. Wait, Big Bro went out hunting specifically to get you magical beast meat? Ziluo looked genuinely shocked. Between chromatic dragons, there's no sibling bond thing. Not getting bullied is already lucky, let alone getting taken care of. So what exactly does Big Bro want from Qingxuang? Is he trying to mate with her? Ziluo stared at the clueless Qingxuang, fuming internally. Ziluo, I'm starving. I want to go find Big Bro. Qingxuang suddenly said. You dummy, you literally just said you'd never go out again. But if we don't go out, what do we eat? Qingxuang looked at Ziluo like she was the weird one. Eat, eat, eat. All you think about is eating. Go eat dirt. Wait, Ziluo, are you actually eating dirt? Qingxuang noticed a spot in the cave that looked like a chunk of earth was missing. None of your business. The future greatest black dragon queen would never eat dirt, Ziluo said dismissively. Fine, I'm going to find Big Bro myself. Qingxuang gave her head a little shake and trotted off. Ziluo watched Qingxuang's back disappear and nearly lost it. She couldn't even find one other dragon to eat dirt with. Meanwhile, I was standing in a clearing with my eyes closed, sensing something. Then suddenly a small dirt mound appeared right behind me.